Now 4.12 wrapper class object as a switch argument. Actually, this concept is not applicable to switch statements of C and C++. This is unique to Java. Actually, Java wrapper classes already in the first chapter in command line arguments concept, I introduced wrapper classes. For all primitive types, the corresponding wrapper classes are there. Now, one thing in this context I have to tell you. If you study randomly this one, you cannot get any benefit. This is not a college oriented study. You must study every concept in a sequential order, number one. Number two, you should not study it precisely. If you are studying subject precisely like your college preparation and all that, at the cost of subject, you are doing that. If you miss a simple point also, based on that several other points you have to learn, advanced points, that you are totally missing. That's why I am telling you, if you cannot come out of your college habit and all that, you never become a programmer. That's why once again I am telling you, from the beginning, chapter 1, concept number 1 onwards, sequentially study, practice every program, and after you get satisfaction over one concept, then you go to the next concept. Don't skip anything. Okay, that's why I'm telling you. Now, wrapper classes, with the assumption that you learned in command line arguments, I'm explaining briefly. If you cannot understand that concept wrapper classes, then you cannot obviously you cannot understand this program. So that's why come out of the college habit, then master each and every point sequentially. Don't study precisely. Okay. Now for all primitive types, corresponding wrapper classes are there. Now what are the primitive types? Byte, short, int, long, char, float, double, boolean. These are the primitive types. For all the primitive types, corresponding wrapper classes are there. Now byte, you see first letter is capitalized, short, int, integer, long, char, character, float, double, boolean. Here one thing, if you find the first character as a capital, it should be the name of the class. Understand? So here all types are not relevant for us. And what are the relevant for switch statement? Byte, short, integer and character. Remaining are not applicable to switch. Okay. Now what is the wrapper class object? Now suppose integer a 10. See, the 10 is an integer constant. An integer constant you have assigned to integer class object. Don't much bother about it. Actually, in forthcoming chapters, wrapper classes separate chapter is there. There we study this thing in detailed manner. Already I introduced wrapper classes and briefly explained their functionalities and purpose. Here also I am just introducing this concept for the sake of switch. If I start explaining the wrapper classes fully here, first thing is you cannot understand it, and number two is we are distracted from the main objective of learning selection control statements. That's why whatever is required, that extent I am explaining here. Now you are writing integer class, a is the object and 10 you are assigning. In this case, new and all that are not required. As a result of that, what happens? 10 is wrapped like this. This is an object. This is an object. Now it is like this. This is a reference, this is the object. Now already I told you primitive types, 4 types we can give. What is that? Byte, short, int and char. Now wrapper class object also you can provide. Now how it is possible? Now this is wrapped like this. If you give it, how it can peel it off, how it can unwrap it, that you get it out. Actually, in a recent versions 5.0, Java introduced boxing and unboxing. Actually, now 10 is a primitive literal. Then by this assignment, it is boxed. This is called boxed. That means a wrapper is created. It is converted as an object. Now, once you give this, however, I have given 3, so I take 3 for the sake of relevancy. 3. Now, 3 is wrapped like this. Depending on the context, it is unwrapped. Suppose now A is wrapped like this. Now, I have written like this: int B is equal to int B is equal to plus plus A. Actually, this is in this shape. Now I want to add 1 to this. Then it is wrapped. Wrapped means, suppose you take an example of chocolate. Chocolate is wrapped. Can you eat it? Just you can show it, but you cannot eat it until unless you remove the wrapper. Here also it is wrapped like that. How can you make operations? How can you eat chocolate without removing the wrapper? But Java provided a additional facility of unwrapping depending on the context. Now A is a wrapped object. It consists of like a groundnut. Inside 3 is there. Then here what you are expecting, you unlock it and add 1 to that. Then it is primitive into B. Then what is the value of B? 4. That means what happened here? A is unwrapped, means unboxed. Then it is primitive 3. Then 1 is added to that, and then it becomes 4. It is assigned that. So once again, briefly I am explaining boxing and unboxing. Now here primitive 3, primitive integer constant 3. Now as a result of this operation, it is wrapped, that is boxing. Now it is another statement I have written, int B plus plus A. Actually here it is in the wrapped format, then plus plus is not possible. That's why it is unwrapped. Compiler automatically does it, and then once he adds it, then it becomes 4. It is assigned to B. Now if you write the B's value, you can get 4. This is briefly boxing and unboxing. So in this context, what you provided as an index, as an argument, that is a wrapped object you provided. But in this context, what is required? It should be unwrapped. So it is unboxed. Then original 3 will come. Now thereafter everything same, whatever concept I explained. Now 3 is not matched with the case label, 3 is not matched with the case label, and 3 is matched with the case label 3, then 3 3, then the output is 3. If you give any other thing which is not 1 2 3, then not an index, like that default message is printed. So one more, this is a new point. Switch can accept wrapper class objects because of the unboxing facility provided by the Java. For unboxing boxing purpose, you need not do anything. Compiler, depending on the context, where boxing is required, it makes boxing. Where auto boxing and where unboxing is required, it makes auto unboxing. Because of boxing and auto unboxing facility, switch can accept wrapper class objects as far as the 4 are concerned, not other this thing. What are that? Byte, short, integer and character type of wrapper class objects it can accept as an argument.